Where Winds Meet is about to get a host of new changes. We'll check out both future and recent ones, which does also include a December update. Additionally, we have a letter from the dev team and what their future plans are for the game. On top of everything else, we'll cover some community updates, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, World Utopia here, back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Where Winds Meet. So first off here, we'll go over that developer letter and all the communications that were happening there. That way we can tie everything else together, like the post-launch updates and even a December update, where we did get this brand new letter from the dev team here labeled Hearts Unite as Winds Meet. Most of the things are categorized here, but I'm going to cover their opening statement and break that down very short here, where they do mention they're very excited to connect with players across the globe, and that the response has made them very happy so far, and they're trying to support our efforts, but that it has been a tremendous encouragement and giving them a ton more confidence to push forward. They do also want your feedback, your suggestions, frustrations, and all of that previously has been taken to heart as well. They of course say here though, actions do speak louder than words, so they do want to address the current issues affecting your experiences, going over some of the progress they've made and even their future plans. Now they do break this down nicely with bullet points, but we had GameSpace over here actually break down into different categories. So utilizing their article here, they do cover here the recent improvements, ongoing and future updates, and what's next. So first up, for the recent improvements, we have the network, which they fixed a routing issue that caused high latencies for players in Europe, the Middle East, and other regions. They do have the online mode having the resolved high latency. However, a fix for solo mode is expected to happen in the December update, so we should be getting a much larger patch then. I will of course cover that one. They also did fix some localization and voiceover issues, which included translations for better clarity, immersion, and ongoing optimizations to dubbing and subtitles. They've also gone ahead and improved the beginning experience, even enhanced the character customization, and refined some puzzle clues for English-speaking players. So very nice there, done a lot of clarity fixes, and even helping that early player experience, which was kind of the critical point for a lot of players. So it does seem like they're having better onboarding there. Next up here, they do have the ongoing and future update section, which they again do mention that multilingual support is still being continuously refined, and they even plan to launch a community co-creation event to help incorporate that with more utilized suggestions for that localization. They're also looking at some PS5 performance fixes to improve frame rate, stability, and even visual quality. What's awesome there is those updates are actually expected to happen before the end of the year, so it's pretty safe to assume that that's going to coincide with the solo mode fix in that bigger patch there, at least for the December update. Now they did give a sort of roadmap here, or at least plans for the future. We do have some more additional ones other than what's here, but we'll talk about the ones that they outlaid in this letter, where they go on to say what's happening next here. So first off, they do have Steam Deck compatibility that's being implemented. They're going to be optimizing the multi-time zone display. Time zones are always a struggle in MMOs. Any MMO really has an issue with those, especially with daylight savings times, where some regions do respect that, other ones don't utilize it. We also have a split outfit customization being implemented. That way you can kind of have a loadout there for that. The PS5 Pro support for PSSR, which is essentially the new PlayStation 5 Pro model's upscaler. So that should help with frame rate stability and even the visual quality they talked about. They also do have plans for enhanced audio experiences, although the audio is pretty decent in the game so far, but it looks like they do want to have some additional enhancements there. They do, of course, have a closing statement here for this letter, where they mostly outline those previous things, but they say over the next 2 months, they're going to gradually roll out those updates. So again, December patch and probably into January as well. This actually did coincide with an update that happened today. Whereas we see here, a new build was posted on November 25th, and a brand new manifest was added, and this actually did coincide with Steam Deck. So we are seeing the first round here of Steam Deck performance, and helping with some of that compatibility there. As they did mention, they want to add more Steam Deck compatibility. What was next? Well, they've already made do on a portion of that here. Since we're already on the topic of Steam here, they did hit a concurrent player count of 250,000 players. So they have been hitting new peaks every single weekend. I do think as this game kind of makes the rounds and more players hear about it, this game will continue to increase in its player count. There wasn't a ton of advertising for it, although I am seeing it a lot on Reddit now. But yeah, I do think we could even see a higher concurrent player count this upcoming weekend, since the word is kind of spreading about it. They also did hit top 3 on the selling globally. They hit top 1 in 9 different regions. and they are currently in the top 5 of most played games. So pretty awesome to see there and those huge new milestones. Since we're still on the topic with that dev letter and coinciding with the Steam update there, they actually did drop some free gifts for players. If you haven't seen, it is in your mail, and they gave you a login reward here for 10 lingering melodies, which is the limited time currency used for those gacha pulls, but that only pertains to the cosmetic side of things. So if you want to try for that outfit or anything in there, you could do so. You get 10 free pulls there, which is actually quite nice. Brushing back up on the game's popularity, we also are getting a second release for the game. So of course the game already globally launched for the PlayStation 5 and the PC. However, this game is still coming to 2 additional platforms, and that's for the Android and iOS. So you currently still can pre-register for the game if you are getting it for the mobile devices, and that does release on December 12th. So there is still time. I'll link down below to the pre-registration link in case you were going to play on those platforms or you also wanted the pre-registration rewards. So again, this game could get even more popular as we also get the mobile users to be playing. It is kind of insane that this game would run on mobile, but yeah, they've since made it work. NetEase is very, very good at that. Known for most of their games getting on mobile, like Once Human and a few others. So the fact they made this one possible too is pretty awesome. Again, that does release on December 12th. One last official update here. From the Twitter account, they actually did drop a teaser of the behind the scenes motion capture. Well, this video has been on their socials for quite a while, or at least over on their YouTube page, but pretty cool here. If you wanted to check out some of the behind the scenes stuff, you can do so, and that's over on their YouTube channel, fully in 4K. So I figured I would cover that since they just kind of tweeted about it. Seems they kind of want to push this video back out there, but it was released 4 months ago, and it is definitely worth a check out. Moving over, we do have a few community mentionables. The first one here is they actually did drop a new subreddit called Where Winds Meet Recruit. Now, it technically was created a little while ago, however, it's finally getting some promo work done on the Discord side of things, so I think a lot more people will utilize this now. So if you're looking for a guild to join or even wanting to hop into a different Discord, you can do so using this subreddit, and it actually is starting to pick up with that Discord promo, so kind of cool they're looking for a guild. I'm technically looking for one as well, so I might utilize this too. Also, if you wanted, I still need 4 disciples. I have 1 underneath me, but if you wanted to play together and join my disciple group, you can do so. You can just add me in game, and then I'll figure that out there. Just figured I'd throw that in case you wanted to be a disciple and play together and earn some additional bonuses. One other last minute mentionable here is a martial arts infograph. This thing is super cool and definitely will have some utilization to it, basically showing you what each martial art here does. You probably noticed from my gameplay, I actually do play basically fully ranged. I might drop a build guide eventually. I normally do top damage in nearly every single content I play. So if you guys wanted that, let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll put something together. Overall, that's about cover for today's video. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe, and until the next one. Deuce!